The strong seven, guardians of DC, keeping the capital safe and free. When danger strikes, they'll save the day. The strong seven are here to stay. The strong seven, guardians of DC, keeping the capital safe and free. When danger strikes, they'll save the day. The strong seven are here to stay. The strong seven, DC's mightiest team, protecting our home, living the hero's dream.
The early morning sun cast a warm glow over Washington, D.C. As the members of the Strong Seven gathered at their headquarters. The events of their first mission together were still fresh in their minds, but a new day brought new challenges. Bear, the team's de facto leader, had called an urgent meeting to discuss a troubling development.
Thank you all for coming so quickly. I've detected some unusual seismic activity beneath the city. It's unlike anything I've seen before, and it's not related to seismic's attack from our previous encounter.
What kind of activity are we talking about, Bear?
Another villain with earth-moving powers.
That's just it, I'm not sure. The patterns are erratic and don't match any known geological phenomena. We need to investigate this immediately before it potentially endangers the city.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's dig up whatever's causing this and crush it.
Patience, brutality. We need a plan before we act.
Fukazi is right. We can't just charge him blindly. What do you propose, Bear?
I suggest we split into teams. We'll cover more ground that way. Bright Star and Dark Star, I want you two to provide aerial reconnaissance. Your light powers will be crucial if we need to navigate any dark spaces underground.
You got it, Bear. We'll light up whatever's down there.
Agreed. We'll keep in constant communication with the rest of the team.
Good. Fukazi, your wind powers and agility make you ideal for scouting ahead in tight spaces. Accelerator, you'll accompany her. Your speed will be invaluable if we need to evacuate quickly or relay messages.
Understood. We'll move swiftly and silently.
Fast and quiet, got it. Though I'm not sure how quiet I can be at top speed.
Just do your best. Brutality, you're with me. Your strength might be needed if we encounter any cave-ins or need to move heavy debris.
Fine. But if we find whatever's causing this, I get first crack at it.
Let's focus on investigation first. Violence should be our last resort.
As the team prepared to move out, the Negator stood silently in the corner, its starry cloak rippling with cosmic energy. Bear turned to address the enigmatic being.
Negator, your ability to send objects to another dimension could be crucial if we need to quickly remove any dangerous elements. Please stay close and be ready to act on my signal.
The Negator didn't speak, but a sense of acknowledgement radiated from its form. With their plan in place, the Strong Seven moved out into the city. Bright Star and Dark Star took to the skies, their contrasting auras of light and shadow cutting striking figures against the morning sky. On the ground, Fukazi and Accelerator made their way to the first location Bear had identified as a hotspot of seismic activity. The ninja's graceful movements were a stark contrast to Accelerator's barely contained energy as he vibrated with anticipation.
Remember, Accelerator, stealth is key here. We don't want to trigger any unnecessary tremors.
Stealth, right. I can do stealth. Watch this.
In a blur of motion, Accelerator zipped from shadow to shadow, his movement so fast it was almost imperceptible. Fukazi raised an eyebrow, impressed despite herself.
Not bad. Now let's see if you can maintain that as we descend.
As they approached a storm drain, Fukazi used her wind powers to gently lift the grate. The two heroes slipped into the darkness below, the first step in their journey to uncover the mystery beneath the city. Meanwhile, Bear, Brutality, and the Negator made their way to another location of interest. Bear's mechanical paws clicked softly on the pavement as he consulted a handheld device, its screen displaying a complex array of seismic data.
The readings are getting stronger. Whatever's causing this disturbance, we're getting close.
Good. I'm itching for some action.
Remember, Brutality, we're here to investigate, not instigate. Your strength is a tool, not a weapon to be used indiscriminately.
Ah, you sound like one of those peace-loving hippies. Sometimes a good fight is the quickest way to get answers.
And sometimes it's the quickest way to escalate a situation unnecessarily. We need to be smart about this.
As they argued, the Negator suddenly stopped, its cloak of stars swirling more rapidly than usual. Bear and Brutality turned to look at their silent companion.
What is it, Negator? Do you sense something?
Though the Negator didn't speak, both Bear and Brutality felt a clear sense of warning emanating from the mysterious being. Suddenly, The ground beneath their feet began to tremble.
Finally, some action.
Everyone, brace yourselves.
The tremor intensified, and the pavement in front of them began to crack. With a thunderous roar, the street split open, revealing a yawning chasm beneath. As debris rained down around them, Bear quickly activated his communicator.
Attention all team members, we've got a situation here. Seismic activity has escalated. Bright star, dark star, we need eyes on this from above. Okay, please, accelerator, proceed with caution. We don't know how extensive this underground network might be.
Roger that, there. You see the opening from up here. It's bigger than you might realize. There seems to be a vast cavern system beneath the city.
I'm detecting strange energy readings from below. It's unlike anything I've encountered before.
Understood. Everyone, converge on our location. We're going in.
As the team regrouped at the edge of the chasm, they peered into the darkness below. The air that wafted up was cool and damp, carrying with it the musty scent of Earth long undisturbed. Bright Star created a ball of light, illuminating a rough tunnel that led deeper underground.
Ladies and gentlemen, shall we take a trip to the center of the Earth?
This is no time for jokes, Bright Star. We need to stay alert.
Oh, come on, Fugazi. A little humor never hurt anyone.
Besides, I bet I can run to the center of the earth and back before you finish that sentence.
Enough chatter! Are we going in or not?
We are, but carefully. Bright Star, you take point with your light. Dark Star, watch our backs. Fugazi, use your wind sense to detect any changes in air currents that might warn us of further cave-ins. Accelerator, be ready to get us out quickly if needed. Brutality, stay close to me. Your strength might be needed if we encounter any obstacles. Negator.
With nods of agreement, the strong seven began their descent into the Earth. The tunnel was rough and uneven, clearly not made by human hands. As they ventured deeper, the sounds of the city above faded away, replaced by the eerie echo of their footsteps and the occasional drip of unseen water. After what seemed like hours of careful progress, the tunnel suddenly opened up into a vast underground cavern. The team found themselves standing on a ledge overlooking an incredible sight. Below them stretched an entire underground city, its architecture unlike anything they had ever seen. Buildings of crystalline structures glowed with an inner light, illuminating the cavern in a soft, ethereal radiance. Streets paved with what looked like polished obsidian wound between the structures, and in the center of it all stood a massive tower that pulsed with energy.
By the stars. What is this?
Incredible. An entire civilization hidden beneath our feet. The geological implications alone are staggering.
Forget the geology. Where are the people? A city this size should be teeming with life.
I sense no air currents that would suggest recent movement. This place, it feels ancient, yet untouched by time.
There's something else. Can you feel it? A presence watching us?
As if in response to Dark Star's words, the ground began to tremble once more. The crystalline buildings vibrated, producing a haunting melody that echoed throughout the cavern. Suddenly, the obsidian streets began to shift and move, coalescing into humanoid forms.
Guys, I think we found the welcoming committee.
Stay calm, everyone. We don't know if they're hostile. Let's not make any aggressive moves.
The obsidian figures, each standing at least 10 feet tall, began to advance towards the strong seven. Their featureless faces somehow conveyed a sense of ancient guardianship and unwavering purpose.
Hostile or not, I don't like the look of these rock monsters. Say the word bear and I'll start smashing.
No brutality. We need to try to communicate first. We don't know what kind of damage fighting these beings could do to the city above us.
As the obsidian golems drew closer, the negator suddenly floated forward. Its starry cloak expanded, creating a barrier between the team and the approaching figures. A sense of communication flowed from the negator, incomprehensible to the rest of the team, but clearly directed at the golems.
It appears the negator is attempting to communicate with them.
Let's hope it's saying, "We come in peace and not take me to your leader."
For a tense moment, nothing happened. Then, slowly, the obsidian golems halted their advance. The largest among them stepped forward, its form shifting and changing until it resembled a towering humanoid figure with distinct features. When it spoke, its voice was deep and resonant, like the rumble of distant thunder.
Travelers from the surface, you stand in the sacred halls of Subterra, the last bastion of the Earthen Ones. Your presence here has awakened us from our long slumber. Speak quickly. For what purpose have you disturbed our rest?
Greetings, noble guardian of Subterra. We are the strong seven protectors of the world above. We came investigating unusual seismic activity that threatened our city. We mean you no harm and apologize for any disturbance we may have caused.
Seismic activity. Ah, yes. The great machines stir in their sleep, their dreams causing tremors in the world above. It has been eons since they last awoke.
Great machines.
What are you talking about?
In the age before your kind walked the earth, our civilization thrived. We built great machines to harness the power of the planet's core, to shape the very continents. But a cataclysm forced us into hibernation, our city hidden away, protected by our guardians and the dreams of our slumbering kin.
So, you're saying your people's wet dreams are threatening to demolish Washington, D.C.?
Brutality! Show some respect.
Please forgive my companion's bluntness. We understand this is your home, but the tremors are causing significant concern in our world. Is there any way we can help stabilize these?
Your offer is appreciated, surface dweller, but the machines are not yours to control. They are tied to the very essence of our people. However, your presence here, especially that of your silent companion, has stirred something long forgotten.
The Golden Leader turned its gaze to the Negator, whose starry form seemed to ripple in response.
You carry with you a fragment of the void between worlds. It resonates with the core of our great machines. Perhaps there is a way we can help each other.
Okay, I'm lost. Can someone explain what's going on in small words?
I believe the Guardian is suggesting that the Negator's unique nature might be key to stabilizing their technology and, by extension, preventing further seismic disturbances in our world.
But can we trust them? For all we know, this could be a trap.
I sense no deception from them, brother. Their concern seems genuine.
I agree. The air here is thick with age and solemnity. These are not beings who would deceive lightly.
Very well. Negator, are you willing to assist?
The Negator's form pulsed once, a clear affirmative. The Golden Leader nodded, its obsidian features somehow conveying a sense of relief.
Follow me to the central tower. There we can begin the process of reawakening and stabilizing our great machines. But be warned, the journey to the core will be perilous, and the energies we will encounter are beyond anything your kind has ever faced.
Bring it on, Rockface. We face worse than a little heat and pressure.
What my companion means to say is that we're prepared to face whatever challenges lie ahead for the sake of both our worlds.
With that, the strong seven followed the Golem Leader towards the towering central spire of Subterra. As they walked through the ancient city, the crystalline buildings hummed with increasing energy, as if the very earth was awakening around them. The team exchanged glances, each member silently acknowledging the gravity of their situation. They had come seeking answers to a simple geological mystery and instead found themselves on the brink of reawakening an ancient civilization. As they approached the base of the central tower, the ground beneath their feet began to tremble more intensely. Cracks appeared in the obsidian streets, releasing wisps of glowing energy that swirled around their ankles.
Is it just me? Or is this place getting a bit unstable?
The awakening of their machines must be causing these disturbances. We need to hurry.
Indeed, the great machines have slumbered for too long. Their reawakening is turbulent.
The Golem Leader placed its massive hand on a seemingly smooth section of the tower's base. Instantly, intricate patterns of light spread across the structure's surface, forming complex, ever-shifting geometric designs.
The path to the core is opening. Steel yourselves, surface dwellers. What lies ahead will challenge not just your bodies, but your very perceptions of reality.
A doorway materialized in the tower's base, revealing a spiraling pathway that descended into pulsating darkness. The team exchanged determined looks before stepping into the unknown.
Well, team, into the abyss we go. Try not to trip on any cosmic secrets on the way down.
Brother, your levity is ill-timed. We should approach this with utmost caution.
For once, I agree with Brightstar. A little light-heartedness might help steady our nerves.
Bah! You're all overthinking this. Whatever's down there, we'll face it head-on. That's the way of a true warrior.
Remember, everyone, stay alert and stick together. We don't know what to expect down there.
As they began their descent, the air grew thicker and heavier, charged with an otherworldly energy that made their skin tingle. Brightstar's natural glow intensified, reacting to the surrounding power, while Darkstar's shadows seemed to deepen, creating a striking contrast of light and dark that danced along the walls of the spiral pathway.
You know, I've always wondered what it would be like to be inside a lava lamp. I think I'm getting a pretty good idea now.
Accelerator, please focus. Your speed may be our best defense if we encounter any unexpected dangers.
Relax, Fukazi.
I can crack jokes and save the day at the same time.
It's called multitasking.
As they descended deeper, the walls of the pathway began to shift and change. What once looked like solid crystal now appeared almost fluid, with images and shapes forming and dissolving in rapid succession.
These walls, they're showing us something. Visions of the past, perhaps, or possible futures.
Fascinating. It's as if the very structure of this place is imbued with some form of collective memory or predictive capability.
Less gawking, more walking. I don't like the feeling of this place.
It's like the air itself is watching us.
As if in response to Brutality's words, the air around them seemed to thicken. Ghostly faces began to form in the swirling energy, their expressions a mix of curiosity and concern.
We are being observed. I can feel countless presences all around us.
Do not be alarmed. These are the dreaming consciousnesses of my people. They sense your presence and are curious. It has been eons since surface dwellers entered our domain.
Well, I hope we're putting on a good show for them. Maybe we should wave?
This is extraordinary. An entire civilization existing in a state of shared consciousness. The implications are staggering.
Great. So we're not just trespassing, we're interrupting their beauty sleep. This keeps getting better and better.
As they continued their descent, the pathway opened into a vast chamber. The space was so enormous that even Bright Star's enhanced luminescence couldn't illuminate its furthest reaches. At its center stood an enormous machine, a complex web of crystals, metals, and pulsing energy conduits. It hummed with power, sending vibrations through the very rock beneath their feet.
Behold the heart of Subterra, the nexus point of our great machines, and the key to stabilizing the energies that threaten your world above.
Incredible. The engineering behind this. It's beyond anything I've ever conceived. The integration of organic and inorganic components, the quantum entanglement matrices. It's simply breathtaking.
It's beautiful in a terrifying, world-shaking sort of way.
I sense immense power here, brother. Power that could remake the world or destroy it.
So, what exactly are we supposed to do with this thing? I'm fast, but I don't think I can run around it and magically fix everything.
The negator floated forward, its starry form seeming to resonate with the energies of the great machine. Tendrils of cosmic energy reached out from its cloak, intertwining with the pulsing conduits of the heart of Subterra.
Your void-touched companion seems to understand instinctively. It must interface with the heart here at this central platform. But be warned, the process is not without risk. The energies involved could overwhelm or even destroy a lesser being.
Negator, are you sure about this? We can find another way if you're not comfortable.
The negator's form pulsed once, a clear affirmative. It glided onto the circular platform at the base of the heart of Subterra, its starry cloak expanding to encompass the entire circle. As soon as it made contact, arcs of energy began to flow between the negator and the great machine.
Wow, that's so much.
It's more than that. I can feel the fabric of space-time fluctuating around us.
The air currents. They're changing. It's as if the entire cavern is breathing.
I don't like this. It feels like we're poking a sleeping dragon with a very short stick.
Suddenly, the ground beneath their feet began to shake violently. Crystals in the chamber walls shattered, raining shards down upon the team. The heart of Subterra pulsed erratically, each surge sending shockwaves of energy throughout the cavern.
Knew it. This whole thing was a trap.
No, the energies are unstable. Your companion's connection to the void is more powerful than we anticipated. It's causing a resonance cascade.
In English, please.
If we don't stabilize the reaction, it could tear open rifts between dimensions, endangering not just your world and ours, but countless others.
So what do? We can't just stand here and watch.
We need to help the negator control the flow of energy. Bright Star, Dark Star, use your powers to try and contain the energy discharge.
Fugazi! See if you can use your wind manipulation to direct the flow.
Accelerator, I need you to run interference on any dimensional rifts that start to form. Brutality, be ready to physically restrain the negator if things get out of hand.
Finally, some action.
The team sprang into action. Bright Star and Dark Star created a swirling barrier of light and shadow around the negator and the heart of Subterra, struggling to contain the massive energy discharges. Fukazi summoned whirlwinds to channel the escaping energy back into the machine. Accelerator became a blur, zipping around the chamber to disrupt any spatial anomalies that began to form.
This is intense. I've never had to channel this much energy before.
Focus, brother. If we falter, the consequences could be catastrophic.
The currents are wild, almost sentient. It's taking all my concentration to direct them.
You think you've got it tough? Try patching holes in reality while dodging interdimensional lightning.
Less complaining, more action. We didn't come all this way to fail now.
Despite their efforts, the situation continued to deteriorate. The Negator's form began to flicker and distort, its starry essence seeming to merge with the energies of the heart of Subterra. Cracks appeared in the air itself, offering dizzying glimpses into other realities.
It's not enough. The reaction is still building.
There is one more thing we can try, but it requires a sacrifice. The heart of Subterra needs an anchor, a being to act as a conduit and stabilizer.
Well, don't all volunteer at once.
I'll do it.
My powers might be able to withstand the energy.
No, brother. We don't know what it might do to you. I'll go.
Stop, both of you. We can't afford to lose either of you. I'll do it.
No way. You guys are the powerhouses. It should be me. I can vibrate my molecules to match the energy frequency or something sciencey like that.
Enough. We don't have time to argue. I'll do it. My unique physiology might give me the best chance of surviving.
Before anyone could protest, Bear lumbered onto the platform with the Negator. The moment his paw touched the energy-charged surface, arcs of power engulfed him. Bear roared in pain, but stood his ground, his mechanical thumbs grasping at the swirling energies as if trying to physically wrestle them into submission.
There. Hold on, you overgrown furball.
The chamber filled with blinding light as the energies reached a crescendo. For a moment, reality itself seemed to waver, the boundaries between dimensions becoming as thin as tissue paper. The team watched in awe and terror as glimpses of other worlds, other possibilities, flashed before their eyes. Brightstar saw a version of himself consumed by darkness, while Darkstar witnessed an alternate self bathed in radiant light. Fukazi caught a fleeting image of a world where wind itself had consciousness. Accelerator experienced a lifetime in a reality where time flowed backwards. Brutality faced a peaceful version of himself, dedicating his strength to creation rather than destruction. Then, with a thunderous boom that seemed to echo across realities, everything snapped back into focus. The violent shaking subsided, and the heart of Subterra's pulsing energy stabilized into a steady, harmonious rhythm. The cracks in reality sealed themselves, leaving behind only a faint shimmer in the air. As the dust settled and the team's vision cleared, they saw Bear and the Negator still standing on the platform. Bear's fur was singed and wisps of smoke rose from his body, but he was alive. The Negator's form had solidified once more, though its starry essence now seemed to pulse in time with the heart of Subterra.
It worked. The heart is stable. The great machines are coming back online, but in harmony with the world above. There will be no more destructive tremors.
Bear, are you, I've been better. Feels like I went 10 rounds with a supernova, but I'll live.
That was incredibly reckless and incredibly brave.
I knew you had it in you, you big softy.
Takes more than some mystical light show to take down one of us.
As the team gathered around Bear, checking him for injuries and offering congratulations, Darkstar approached the Negator.
How about you? Are you okay?
The Negator's form rippled, and for a moment, Darkstar felt a profound sense of gratitude and kinship emanating from the enigmatic being. Though it didn't speak, its message was clear. It too had survived and grown from the experience.
So, not to ruin the moment, but how do we explain this to the folks upstairs?
I'm pretty sure sorry about the earthquakes. We were just waking up an ancient underground civilization. Isn't it to cut it with the mayor?
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. For now, let's just be grateful we all made it through this in one piece.
Surface dwellers, Strong 7, you have done a great service not just to Subterra, but to your own world as well. The bond forged here between our peoples will not be forgotten.
Does this mean we can expect more company from down below? Because I've got to say Washington, D.C. isn't really equipped for 10-foot-tall rock people touring the National Mall.
Fear not. We will remain in Subterra, as we have for eons. But know that you now have allies beneath the earth. Should you ever need our aid, you need only call, and the Earthen Ones will answer.
And should you need us, we'll be there. I have a feeling this is just the beginning of a much larger adventure for all of us.
As the Strong 7 prepared to make their way back to the surface, each member felt a profound sense of change. They had faced an incredible challenge and emerged victorious, not through individual strength, but through teamwork and sacrifice. The bonds between them had been tested and strengthened in the crucible of Subterra.
Well, I didn't get to smash as much as I'd hoped. But I suppose saving the world is a decent consolation prize.
Perhaps this experience will teach you that not every problem can be solved with brute force, brutality.
There's always room for a good smashing. I suppose you all didn't do too badly with your softer methods.
Was that actually a compliment?
Quick!
Someone check if reality is still stable.
I don't know about you guys, but I could use about a week's worth of sleep after all this. Anyone else feeling the interdimensional jet lag?
We should remain vigilant. The repercussions of what happened here could echo through time and space in ways we can't yet fathom.
Darkstar's right. While we've averted this crisis, we need to be prepared for whatever comes next. The world is changing, and we need to change with it.
As they made their way back through the winding tunnels of Subterra, the team continued to process their experience. The negator floated silently behind them, its starry form occasionally flickering with residual energy from the heart of Subterra.
There, your actions down there were truly heroic. How are you feeling?
Physically, I'm soaring places I didn't even know I had. But mentally, it's strange. I feel like I've touched something vast and ancient. It's given me a new perspective on my own transformation.
What do you mean?
The Earthen Ones, they're great machines. They're a testament to the malleability of matter and energy. Perhaps my current form isn't a mistake or an aberration, but part of a greater cosmic design.
Getting a bit philosophical there, aren't you, Furball?
Perhaps. But after what we've seen today, can any of us really view the world the same way?
The team fell into thoughtful silence as they continued their ascent. As they neared the surface, the first hints of natural light began to filter down from above.
Oh man, I never thought I'd be so happy to see sunlight again. Race you to the top.
Before anyone could protest, accelerators zipped ahead in a blur of motion. The rest of the team exchanged amused glances before quickening their pace. As they emerged from the underground city, blinking in the sudden sunlight, the Strong Seven knew that they had taken their first real step towards becoming the heroes the world needed. Whatever came next, they would face it together, as a team, as friends, as the protectors of not just one world, but of realities beyond imagination.
Well, team, I'd say this calls for a celebration. Who's up for pizza?
Brother, we just saved the world from interdimensional catastrophe, and your first thought is pizza?
Hey, saving the world works up an appetite.
Actually, some food does sound good right now.
As long as there's meat on it. None of that vegetarian nonsense.
I suppose we've earned a little downtime. But let's not forget we have a lot of work ahead of us. We need to monitor for any after effects of the stabilization process, not to mention figuring out how to explain all this to the authorities.
Always the responsible one, eh, Bear? But you're right. I vote we save the boring paperwork for after we've had a chance to recharge.
As the team made their way back to their headquarters, the streets of Washington, D.C. bustled with normal activity, its inhabitants blissfully unaware of the cosmic drama that had unfolded beneath their feet. The Strong Seven exchanged knowing looks, silently acknowledging the weight of their newfound responsibility. Unknown to them, their actions had sent ripples through the very fabric of reality. In the spaces between dimensions, ancient forces stirred, awakened by the energies unleashed in the heart of Subterra. The Negator alone sensed these distant echoes, a foreshadowing of challenges yet to come. But for now, as the team walked together under the warm afternoon sun, there was only the satisfaction of a crisis averted and a friendship deepened. They had taken their first steps into a larger world, one filled with wonders and dangers beyond imagination. And whatever the future held, they would face it together as the Strong Seven. Stay tuned for the next thrilling episode of the Strong Seven, where our heroes will face new challenges and uncover more secrets of their expanding universe.